Hi everyone, this is the third instalment of my training weeks leading up to the British Championships, which will take place in 13 weeks now. Started off with squats. I've got to thank Scott the Monster Monroe for the spot here, very much appreciated. This is 230 kilos for 2 sets of 3 for the strength work. I'm learning to embrace high bar squats now. In my mind I was having some conflict, like, I am squatting high bar, but I can't wait to go back to low bar. I'll squat so much more that way, this, that and the other. And you know what, I'm learning to just take ownership of high bar squats now, and rather than thinking when I go back to low bar, I'm now thinking, you know what, I'm not going back to low bar, high bar's away, I'm going to do it from now on. This was 4 sets of 2. The speed work was with 175 kilos, just because it was meant to be 170, but just thought it more convenient just to leave 325s on there, the squat bar. The next workout was rack press, end range rack press, and some shoulder assistance. This started out with 3 sets of 4 and 1 set of 3 at 150 kilos, and with the end range rack press, it was 3 sets of 5 at 155 kilos. Then went on to do some decline presses. I think that was like 2 sets of 6 at 140 kilos. Then went on to some standing military presses with 80 kilos, 3 sets of 5, and some bent over laterals after that, just to get some delt work in there. After that I went on to my deadlift session, and as you will see from this, this is 250 kilos. The goal was 8 doubles, and this just moved slow as fuck. The injury is obviously plaguing me still. This is actually a PB for how slowly I've ever moved 250 kilos. So as you can imagine, this is still pretty disheartening and frustrating. I'm not out of the woods yet. I do believe that my rehab is moving me to kind of a better and better place as time goes on though, but sessions like that just annoy me, because I want to deadlift more than 400 kilos one day. I'll put that out there, I won't be shy about doing so. Anyway, this was 3 sets of 6 with 150 with the semi-stiff legs. Like I say, my back was flaring up. This doesn't look like it moved too slowly, but I didn't want to go any heavier. Again, it's just for assistance to keep the posterior chain, maintain some strength there. And after this I did some power shrugs. It's just 5 sets of 2 with 145 kilos, I believe. After this was the bench press session. Now, my training partner Hassan this week has turned up for both bench training sessions, and I just think that's absolutely phenomenal, so I'm gonna just give him some recognition. He was actually there ahead of time for one of the sessions too. So this is 3 sets of 3 with 160 kilos. That's 80% of my competition max. This doesn't move super fast, and I don't think I'm anywhere near the peak of my bench pressing prowess at the moment, but my body weight's down. It's 122 kilos in the morning now. I've been as high as 129 kilos in the morning, so I'm guessing that when we start our prep properly at 10 weeks out, my body weight's gonna climb and climb, as will my strength. And Hassan actually managed to triple 175 kilos today, which I believe is a PB for him, so I can just imagine him getting stronger and stronger towards the British, and I expect a big bench from him. The banded was 6 sets of 2 with a red band at 80 kilos, same weight. We'll go up to a blue band next week, I believe. Okay, so this was pause squats. I did 4 sets of 2 pause squats with 150 kilos, with just a pause at the very bottom in the hole. Then I did 2 sets of 2 with the same weight. I did a pause just above 90 degrees, which is where I got stuck on my last squat, and where I tend to get stuck when I'm doing high bar squats now. So that's kind of trying to work hard through that sticking point. And I'll keep these in. I'll do a lot more of these as the next few weeks go on, because I think that they'll hopefully try and eliminate that sticking point. Okay, so I then moved on to a wide stance, still high bar squat, like I said I was going to do last week, to build up the muscles around the hips, like the adductors, glutes, this, that and the other. These felt really, really hard. I stuck with the exact same load, did 2 sets of 5, just getting a feel for it. But yeah, like I said, they did feel very hard, and I think to an extent I have actually found my form. High bar with a relatively narrow stance. It just feels better for me, using a lot of quad. You know, I've always had pretty big quads in relation to everything else, so you know, this is probably going to help my sumo deadlift, this wide stance squat, and just kind of everything else where my hips and muscles around there become a limiting factor. Okay, this was speed sumo deadlifts, 6 sets of 2 with 125 kilos of blue band on the bar. Didn't feel mega fast, but you know, I'm going to work on that in the coming weeks, just building the volume up there. I also finished with some more bench pressing, just some over pauses and some pause photo presses, which felt really good. 5 sets of 5 with a very kind of lightweight, just to get the feel for